one and all of the show. Wired up, fired up, fucking ready to go. Fill the parking lot outside of the bar. 20 deep, 20 feet from the boulevard. Black caps, black label and glasses.
My name is Ryan Berard. I'm 21 years old. I drive. God, how do I explain that car? It's a 95 chassis with an 89 front end, with a 95 motor, but with a single cam 89 pistons, and man, it's a cluster hell of cars put together. But it performs well. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it does what it needs to do. That car runs off sunshine and happiness. Born and raised in Alabama. My whole family's from Alabama. Went to Kwajalein for about 3 years of my life when I was younger. It's a tiny island in the Pacific for military uses, and my dad was in the military, contractor, kind of like what Ricky does. And we had to move out there when I was younger, but moved back to the States, moved back towards home, and stayed here. Don't have a reason to leave, so I'm staying here for a while. My blood family relationship, I'm not saying so much I was a black sheep, but I had different views on a lot of things. You know, they were the go to college, you know, make lots of money kind of people. Don't get me wrong, you know, money's great, but at this point in my life, you know, money really isn't that big of an issue. You know, I'm not saying I'm rich, because by all means I'm not, but it's not one of my priorities. It's, you know, taking a group of people that everyone hates and creating my own family. And I mean, my blood family, you know, we never really saw eye to eye. I mean, I always kept my nose clean. You know, I never did drugs. My grades weren't great, but I still passed. And we didn't see eye to eye in high school until I moved out at 18 and hit the real world, running, of course. And you know, I never went back and asked for anything.
Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about.
I'm Wes Patterson. I'm 18, almost 19. I drive a 1991 Nissan 240SX with a RB20 motor swap. It's my drift feeder and daily driver. So, daily driving, I have to be nice to it sometimes, but it's treated me well so far.
Salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up.
I love cars, always have since I was born, and just the cars and the rush you get out of drifting, and you know, going fast sideways and people think you're out of control. It's just fun, especially like, don't recommend this, but like if you like slide on the street a little bit, people freak out and think you're about to wreck, but you don't.
My name is Ryan, and I am 20 years old, and I drive a 1992 240SX with an RB motor swap. when I met these guys about maybe a year and a half ago, I had a two-tone paint job on my 93 hatchback 240, and it was black on top and silver on bottom, and everybody just called me Two-Tone ever since that paint job.
I love you, Two-Tone.
And I don't even have that car anymore, and all my cars have been black since then, and they still call me Two-Tone. And then there's some idiots that decided to, you know, stretch the name and call me Dos Tones because I'm Hispanic. So, and it pisses me off every time. But you know, it's neither here nor there. I was born in Colorado, but I stayed in North Carolina for most of my life, and I moved here about 5 years ago, and I got into cars. I've been into cars for as long as I can remember, and as soon as I got my license, I found an automatic 1990 240 hatch, and I got into drifting with 2 other people, and it was none of these people, none of the family members. I didn't even know them until a couple years after. And I got into drifting about 4 or 5 years ago, before, you know, a whole lot of people even knew what drifting was, like before the movie came out, the Fast and Furious movie and all that. It was just me and 2 other people that were into it. And maybe 2 years after that, 3 years after that, I met all these guys up at a drift spot one summer, and or actually, that's how I met them. I met Ryan for the first time at this old airport drift spot. We all used to hang. They all hung up at O'Reilly's, and I just happened to be passing by one day, and that's when I met Casey, Ryan again, and Wes, and a few of the other guys. And ever since then, I just started hanging out with them, and the passion for drifting just grew.
My name's Cody Terry. You don't understand how much more funny I could be if I could cuss on this. If I could cuss on this and y'all could just beep it out, where it's like, I don't give a beep. Look, beep, beep. How do you feel about that? Beep. Well, I feel beep, 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 beep.
Cody Terry is legitimately dumb. He is legitimately dumb. He's the dumb one in the group. He's dumb.
This is Cody. This is C. Terry's interview right here. Just not giving a fuck.
He said he ain't doing no
Fuck this background shit. I'm just gonna walk the fuck around and he's gonna stab me.
Jackson, Mississippi. I drive a 1993 240SX coupe with an RB20 swap in it. Well, I've always been into cars. Ever since I was probably 13, 14, I was always I did dirt bikes. I raced motocross for a while. I did that. I started riding dirt bikes probably when I was 6, 7. When I was 10, I believe, is when I actually started racing them, and I raced them till I was about 16. When I was 15, I went ahead and I bought a Honda Civic, and I was into drag racing pretty good then. And then I don't even really honestly know how I got started into drifting. I think I went to West Morgan, which is in Trinity. It's like about 10 minutes away from Decatur. I got kicked out of there, and I transferred to Bob Jones after I got kicked out. And that's when I met Two-Tone. And Two-Tone had a 240, and he was talking about drifting, even though he didn't. But you know, he's always been into drifting, so I was like, "What's this?" And You know, he showed me videos on YouTube, so it's like, cool.
Team Let's. Okay. It's hard to explain because people see us all the time and just see this, you know, this let's. I guess it's, you know, considered a verb, as in, you know, let's do something. And people in America, a lot of the import tuner scene people put Japanese symbols on their cars because, you know, they think it's cool and, you know, JDM and Japanese and stuff like that. Well, in Japan, they do the same thing. They put American words on their car. They don't know what it means. They just think it's cool because it's American. So if Casey Holmes, my buddy, has actual Japanese tuner magazines that we started flipping through, which they're actually reversed. You flip it from right to left instead of left to right, which is pretty cool. And we started looking at all these cars, and they have my brands. They have, you know, okay. They have like all these random American English words on their car, and they think it's. I mean, these are clean $100,000 cars that have these on there. So we're kind of like taking that name from what they're doing over there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like everyone else and putting Japanese symbols on our cars, we're doing what as if we're living in Japan. So Casey came up with Let's. He was playing Forza and put a big Let's sticker on his hood, and we just started talking about it. It's just kind of like, yeah, you know, you come up to this mountain to Toge, you know, race a mountain, and without saying any verbal words, you just look at each other, and it's just an automatic let's, as in let's do it.
Alright, it's the day of the event. We haven't left the apartment yet. Gerard was claiming that everybody was leaving at 4 o'clock sharp, and if anybody was late, which I wasn't, that they were getting left behind. Well, here we are, still sitting at the apartment. It's cold, really cold, and I've had like an hour's worth of sleep, so I'm kind of tired. I've been busting my butt at work all week, but well, hopefully it all pays off.
It smells good, whoever's driving with me. They don't want to smell me. Oh.
Thanks.
Just trying to protect you.
Gerard took up for me, and he kind of got hit in the face. Now I feel like horrible about that. And I mean, Gerard's like my dad, and he took up for me because my ex-girlfriend's mom was chewing me out and saying some horrible stuff about me. So he got on the phone and took care of it, and then her boyfriend came up to the shop where I work and punched him in the face a few times, which is stupid.
With Wes and Ryan, you got to look at us as a family, and to use like a really cliche phrase or whatever, bros before hoes. And I mean, if you look at it that way, then you know, yeah, she may be hot or whatever, but he's got to pick one or the other because they're not going to coexist anymore. That's already been made clear. So you know, either he picks his girlfriend and disappears from us and we stop helping him out, or he can pick us and find another girlfriend, because there's a lot of them.
I didn't get back with her, but I was still like talking to her, you know, and I went to this military ball with her because I paid like $130 to rent tux. So I didn't really want to waste the money. So I went to the ball and he's pissed about that. Kyle ran his mouth and told Rod that I was talking to Angelina again. So Rod's mad at me right now. Every time I'm single and a girl rides in my car when I drift, I'm like a magnet for some reason. It's really weird, but our big phrase around here in the drift family, although there are some females in it, our biggest catchphrase is screw bitches. I mean,
Disregard females.
disregard females and get money.
Acquire currency. Politics did not work for me.
Well, we're going to Nashville today. We're going to do some drifting. It's been one hell of a week because a weekend ago we went and did a little bit of sliding the not so legal kind of way, not to say where or in what city, but y'all can kind of put that together. And a lot of stuff broke. Two-tone wreck, totaled this car out.
That sucks. Are you okay? So what happened? Was it just too slick?
Yeah.
Too much speed?
Too slick.
Oh God, dude, Harry.